Hello and welcome back to another video, and you join me on a cold, frosty, icy morning. And as you can see, a bale needs to be put in. They have the floor somewhat cleaned and they are hungry for another silage bale to be opened and split in front of their heads, which we will do that in just a second. So these are the bales we're taking out of, this section here, the bales that are facing that way. Those bales are probably 2 to 3 year olds. I'm talking as if they're animals or something, but anyways, they're 2 or 3 years old. Obviously they're this year's bales, and there's a line of this year's bales here as well. Any bales that are facing that way or have a red paint mark on them are the older bales that are 2 or 3 year old. So yeah, I don't know which bale to pick at. What I might do is try and take out this bale, and in turn this top bale might fall down for the next time. Now usually we'd be putting in 2 bales, but recently we've only been putting in 1, since the cattle have been put inside to the house, and they've been put into the house at the first week of November, so they've been in quite a while now. So the father has only put in 1 bale, and I have heard no changes. So I assume that we're still remaining putting in 1 bale. The reason we're only putting in 1 bale compared to last year 2 bales is that we have considerably less cattle. We had a load of heifers, we had a load of bullocks, we had a load of Wainlands last year. We had way more cows than we had last year. So we are lighter on livestock this year. So basically last year, with the full shed of cattle we had, 2 bales, done them 2 days, they were getting through a bale a day. This year they've been going through maybe a bale a day and a half. So I put in a bale today in the morning, so the next time that a bale would have to be put in would be probably you skip on a day, so we'll say tomorrow is the next day. It'll probably be evening time. Let's say, what day is it today? Wednesday. We'll say Thursday evening time would be the next time they need a bale put in, and then maybe Friday or Saturday morning would be another time when they need a bale put in. So they're getting through a bale roughly a day to a day and a half. So yeah, I better tune up the International and get a bale put in, because they are looming for some silage. there we go, one bale put in. It's a lot more surgically to put in one bale sort of evenly than what it was to put in the 2 bales, but it is what it is. A bit of graping is no harm. So you can see that there's 1, 2, 3 halves of one side of the bale when it was split in half on this side, and there was supposed to be 1, 2, 3 on this side. So when I split the bale in half, the right side and the left side, I split it into 3 somewhat equal lumps. I tried, which is not easy when the bale is round. So yeah, but anyways, it is what it is. Obviously any of the gaps you see there, all we do is get the grape and just grape a bit out to them. It's not awfully hard. But yeah, that bale should do them, one bale should do them about a day to a day and a half, we'll say. So obviously today is Wednesday, a bale might need to be put in until Thursday evening, or maybe even Friday morning. It just really depends. But yeah, I'll set the camera up again somewhere and we'll start graping the silage to them, and that'll be them fed and happy out for the day. And there's no lewing from any of them now. They're all well fed and happy out. And any of the gaps that didn't have silage in them, I've now graped it into them, as you can see there. So yeah, I think maybe the silage bale was a little bit frozen or had frost on it or something. It wasn't, as you seen at the start of the time lapse, I was trying to pull out from it, but the forks were sort of stuck in within the bale. So there might have been a little bit of frost or ice or frozenness on it, but it's not too bad. They all seem to be happy out and eating it anyways. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, these silage bales we're feeding them at the moment are about 2 or 3 years old. And once they're gone, we'd probably start feeding them. Well, it's not probably, it's we will start feeding them this year's silage. Probably starting with the ones on the sand to get rid of them, and maybe then start on the slab, or maybe we'll just continue with the slab itself. Not 100% sure. We haven't reached that bridge to cross it yet, so yeah. But we have plenty of silage bales to do us, even if we did get a bad February, a bad March, a bad April, a bad May even. We still have enough to keep them in for as long as we have to. But again, we will try and have them out by the middle of April to May time. So yeah, obviously we have heifers there that are in calf. If you haven't watched that video, you can go back and watch it. If it's out yet, I don't know if it's out yet. But yeah, we have the heifer scanned. There's some in calf, there's some not in calf. So yeah, I might as well check the quality of the silage actually as well. Just maybe get deep into it. There's a few mouldy patches on a lot of them, a few of those like actual mouldy ones, and then there's some of the blue mould on it. But what we do with that is we either pick them out ourselves with the grape, if we spot them, or the cows just pick them out anyways. The cows won't eat stuff they don't like, they'll eat the stuff that they do like, so they'll eat around it. So they could do a lot of the picking as well, save us the time. But the father prefers that if he sees a bit like that, he'd probably just get the grape or something and just throw it away from them. But the cattle won't eat that anyways. They'd eat around it, so it's no harm. It's no big deal. But yeah, the quality of the silage is not too bad. Like, they're eating it. It's not awfully wet, but it's not awfully dry. It's not haylage. Like, it's a good mixture, we'd say. So, and if I set the camera up, you can see the silage there. We'll give it a squeeze. There's nothing really major dripping out of it, and there's no water happening in between my fingers either. So it's basically good quality silage. There's nothing wrong with that. Even the smell is fairly nice. So there's a good texture to it, there's a good smell to it. And the most important thing, the cattle like it as well. They are eating it. They are clear on the floor as well. They're not leaving any bits behind when we're putting in a bale. The floor is always somewhat clean and clear of any of the previous silage when we're putting in a fresh bale. So that's always a good sign to see as well. This buck here has a water tin here, or barrel full of water, because this drinker, for some reason, and we didn't get around to it, we were meant to get around to it before the cattle got inside, but never did get around to it because we were busy with other stuff. It doesn't work unless you have the tap that's outside there, a tap that's in there, or if anyone else is using one of the drinking bowls, then it'll work. But you know, it's like airlocked, or there's something not 100% right with it anyways. The black cow here, she doesn't have a water bowl drinker. We have to fill water manually for her as well, with a little sort of half cut off trough type thing there. As you can see, and she's plenty of water as well. That's what she has. But yeah, everyone else seems to be fairly happy out. Obviously, if we put 2 bales in every time, it'd probably make it that little bit you wouldn't have to be putting in a bale every so often. Maybe 2 bales would probably do them maybe 2 to 2.5, possibly even 3 days with the cattle we have. But I always like to watch back on older feeding videos to see what setup we had, how we separated the pens and stuff, and what cattle we had back then. And I do that nearly every year when we start up a new feeding season, I guess, if you want to call it. And just looking back to last year's, we had a whole lot more cattle in the shed than we have this year. I mean, I remember where the teaser bull is now, we had 3 bullocks, which we sold sometime last year as well. But yeah, we had 3 bullocks. We had, I think, the 6 bullocks that were there, we had them. I think they were calves at the time or something. We had the heifers, they were weanlings at the time. And we had a whole lot more cows. Like, how many cows do we have there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cows. I think we might have been on 8 or even 10 cows last year, along with whatever heifers we had, and weanlings and bullocks and all that. So yeah. And for any new viewers, our silage doesn't come with the netting on the inside. You usually have your black wrap, or whatever wrap you want to use, on the outside, and then on the inside, holding the bale together, is your netting. We don't use that. Ever since our old contractor sort of retired, and our new contractor came along, he has like a McHale Fusion 3 baler. So he uses this type of thing. It's like the wrap. This clear film is replacing the net, so you don't have to separate your plastic wrap and your net. You can put all that into one, and when you go to dispose of it, whenever the time comes around, usually they have maybe maybe 2 or 3 times a year that a company comes to a local co-op or a mart or another place, and you just see the load of farmers with their tractors and trailers and jeeps and trailers full of their wrap and stuff. With that stuff, you can dispose of that stuff with the wrap, if you know what I mean. You don't have to separate it, because for a while, for a long time, and every farmer I guess was like that as well, when our old contractor was with us, it was the wrap and then the net holding it in place, and you had to separate the wrap from the net. And you know, when you were going then to recycle it, I think is the appropriate word to use, the netting had to go into a different sort of department in the recycling unit, or all that sort of shenanigans. Now all that is one lump and all can be recycled together. There's no separating. So I need to put that into our storage unit over there until the day comes when we do get the word that they're in town for recycling. But anyways, I think a lot of farmers as well, some farmers get a company or a person to come in, like a lorry or something, and they take it away. We don't usually do that. We do load it up into a trailer ourselves and either tow it with a jeep or the International over there, and bring it into our local co-op. Well, I think it's in the mart. It's in our local mart. It's on their ground, and we get weighed, we unload the trailer, we pay them, and then that's it all gone. So yeah, anyways, they're fed, happy out, happy days. And even the calves do tend to come out and eat a bit of silage as well. And what I might do is I might grate a small bit of silage in the corner there, because what I find with the calves, obviously they all jumble up together, they all stay together, and when they're eating the silage, if they're not in the calf creep, if they're out here eating the silage, they're either eating the silage in this section here or over here. But yeah, and when I put the camera away, I'll throw a bit of silage in that corner for them. Yeah, that's basically it. That's them all fed, and that is going to be the end of today's video. So yes, all the cattle are in, and with the weather that's outside, don't think they'll be going back out anytime soon, and they probably won't be going out this side of Christmas anyways. If we get dry weather in January or February, we might let any of the heifers that aren't in calf, maybe put them out. Maybe put them out. We have 2 fields that haven't been grazed this year, so we can put them out if we truly want to. But there's no point putting them out in the freezing cold weather or even wet weather and then bringing them in, because they'll just get sick. They get pneumonia or other illnesses. So we do tend to try and bring them in when it's a fairly dry day outside, and when it's relatively warm as well for the time of year that we do bring them in, which is around the first week of November, last week of October. But yeah, that's the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my merch, the link to that will be down in the description, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.